Hi, welcome to part 2 as we continue with the Tantra experience. Still on chapter 1, aiming at the one. And as I continue, as they become mature, the four got married. The king was willing to give his own daughter to Sahara, but Sahara wanted to renounce all. Sahara wanted to become a Sanasan. The king was hurt. He tried to persuade Sahara. He was so beautiful, and he was so intelligent. He was such a handsome young man. His fame was spread all over the country and because of him, Mahapala's court was becoming famous. The king was so very worried, and he didn't want this young man to become a Sanasan. He wanted to protect him. He wanted to give him all the comfort possible. He was ready to do anything for him, but Sahara persisted, and the permission had to be given. He became a Sanasan. He became a disciple of HeKate. HeKate is in direct line of Buddha, Gautam Buddha. Then his son, Rahubhadra, and then comes HeKate. There are just two masters between Sahara and Buddha. He is not very far away from Buddha. The tree must have been still very, very green. The vibe must still be very, very alive. Buddha had just left. The climate had just been full of his fragrance. The king was shocked because Sahara was a Brahmin. If he wanted to become a Sanasan, he should have become a Hindu Sanasan, but he chose a Buddhist master. Sahara's family was also very worried. In fact, they all became enemies. This was not right. And then things became even worse. We will come to know about it. Sahara's original name was Rahul, the name given by his father. We will come to know how he became Sahara. This is a beautiful story. When he went to HeKate, the first thing HeKate told him was, forget all your Vedas and all your learning and all that nonsense. It was difficult for Sahara, but he was ready to state anything. Something in the presence of HeKate had attracted him. HeKate was a great magnet. He dropped all his learning. He became unlearned again. This is one of great reunifications. It is easy to renounce wealth. It is easy to renounce a great kingdom, but to renounce knowledge is the most difficult thing in the world. In the first place, how to renounce it? It is there inside you. You can escape from your kingdom. You can go to the Himalayas. You can distribute your wealth. How can you renounce your knowledge? And then it is too painful to become ignorant again. It is the greatest austerity there is, to become ignorant again, to become again innocent like a child. But Sahara was ready. Years passed, and by he erased all that he had known. He became a great meditator, just the same as he had started to become very famous as a great scholar. Now his fame started spreading as a great meditator. People started coming from far and far away just to have a glimpse of this young man who had become so innocent, like a fresh leaf or like dewdrops on the grass in the morning. One day while Sahara was meditating, suddenly he saw a vision that there was a woman in the marketplace who was going to be his real teacher. HeKate had just put him on the way, but the real teaching was to come from a woman. Now this too has to be understood. It is only Tantra that has never been male chauvinistic. In fact, to go into Tantra, you will need the cooperation of a wise woman. Without a wise woman, you will not be able to enter into the complex world of Tantra. He saw a vision, a woman there in the marketplace. So first a woman, second in the marketplace. Tantra thrives in the marketplace, in the thick of life. It is not an attitude of negation, it is utter positivity. Sahara stood up. HeKate asked him, where are you going? And he said, you have shown me the path. You took my learning away. You have done half the work. You have cleaned my slate. Now I am ready to do the other half. With the blessing of HeKate, who was laughing, he went away. He went to the marketplace. He was surprised. He really found the woman that he had seen in the vision. The woman was making an arrow. She was an arrowsmith woman. The third thing to be remembered about Tantra, it says the more cultured, the more civilized a person, the less is the possibility of his tantric transformation. The less civilized, the more primitive, the more alive a person is. The more you become civilized, the more you become plastic. You become artificial. You become too cultivated. You lose your roots in the earth. You are afraid of the muddy world. You start living away from the world. You start posing as though you are not of the world. Tantra says to find the real person, you will have to go to the roots. So Tantra says those who are still uncivilized, uneducated, uncultured, they are more alive. They have more vitality. And that's the observation of the modern psychologist too. A Negro is more vital than the American. That is the fear of the American. The American is very afraid of the Negro. Oh God, I hadn't read that before. I've forgotten about that bit. Okay, I'm not going to go into all that. Tantra says in the world of those who are still primitive, there is a possibility of starting to grow. You have grown in a wrong direction. They have not grown yet. They can still choose a right direction. They have more potential and they don't have anything to undo. They can proceed directly. An arrowsmith woman is a low caste woman, and for Sahara, a learned Brahmin, a famous Brahmin who had belonged to the court of the king, going to an arrowsmith woman is symbolic. This learnt has to go to the vital, the plastic has to go to the real. He saw this woman, a young woman, very alive, radiant with life, cutting an arrow shaft, looking neither to the right nor to the left, but wholly absorbed in making the arrow. He immediately felt something extraordinary in her presence, something that he had never come across. Even HeKate, his master, paled before the presence of this woman, something so fresh and something from the very source.